George Arcos is with us, Chairman and CEO of Verano Holdings, to tell us a little bit about the company, the cannabis industry, after some record revenue for the second quarter. What stands out here in the business at this point?
Good afternoon, Nicole. First, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today. Yes, coming off the heels of a great second quarter, it's been an amazing year for us. We went public in February of this year. Verano is a multi-state cannabis operation, which I feel has one of the best in-class operations in the industry. We focus on people, process, and product. I think we have an amazing, talented team that's been with us for quite some time and continues to grow day over day. We have an efficient process that we've created across the entire platform, and we have amazing products for our consumers. So it's been a tremendous year for us, and we're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, and I saw that you actually, oh, sorry, go ahead, please.
No, go ahead. It was our second public quarter, but really it was a foundational quarter for us. We came off of the heels of a tremendous amount of M&A, and we're integrating those assets. It's been great for us. Welcoming all those new people onto the team has been an amazing journey. And together, I think we're going to have a very strong year and many strong years going forward.
Yeah, well, I think it's very interesting. Yeah, right. You're forecasting a strong year. You've already had record revenue for the second quarter. But I think the part that's most fascinating, and I'm sure people would like to know, that you've been profitable since inception, right? And that's notable. So as you plan for expansion and growth, I think you're in 14 states with 4 or 5 brands. Tell me how the expansion plans will fit in here.
Well, you're definitely right. We've been profitable since day one. We entered this journey with a focus on the bottom line. Unlike some of our peers, for us, it was very important to prove the business up from day one, to prove we could profit from it, and to continue to grow our business organically. So for us, dilution is something we don't like to do. We really like to build our business from our net income. Currently, we have 84 stores open across the country. We have over 800,000 square feet of cultivation and manufacturing capacity, which is growing very quickly. We're in some very large states with some very solid prospects for the near term and long term, and we're focused on growing the business both organically and through acquisitions. We've had a very focused M&A strategy. We wanted to go deeper in our footprint. We have, and we continue to, and it's really an exciting time for us and the industry as a whole.
How did COVID affect the cannabis industry, and what now for the next 12 to 18 months?
Great question. Last year was obviously a trying year for everyone across the country. We focused very hard on making sure that our patients had access to cannabis, especially in the medical markets. We were deemed essential, which, again, very important for Verano as a company and as the industry. So coming off of that, we've learned quite a bit. It was a very strong year for us last year, and heading into this next phase of growth, we can't predict the future, but we are ready for the Delta variant if and when it does happen, and we'll continue to work with our regulators to make sure we provide access to all of our patients and our adult use consumers. And that's all that we can really do. Just focus on the business ahead, and whatever hurdle comes, we're pretty good at jumping them and overcoming them.
Right. And George, why do so many people focus on the Canadian companies? I know we're waiting on a lot in the United States. You mentioned the people who needed it most for cannabis during COVID, right? Getting the customers what they needed. I know you were in hospitality or restaurants, and you leveraged that business and that experience and moved it into this business at this point. But you still need legislation. Medical marijuana seems to be a little more acceptable than recreational. What's the timing on all of this?
We'll see about the timing. What I can tell you is you hit a couple of different points there. The reason so many people focus on the Canadian companies is because they have access to the U.S. markets, which we do not. We're hoping that federal legislation does occur at some point here so we can have access to the U.S. markets as well. But by no means is it necessary for us to continue to grow our business. We've operated in the current regulatory framework the last 7 years. We continue to thrive. We don't need federal legislation. We think it will happen eventually, but I can't comment on the time. What I can tell you this is that we're going to continue to grow the business. For us, that's just another positive incremental step. It's like the little cherry on top for us that we're looking forward to. But for us, the task at hand is continue to grow the business, continue to bring on talented people, and continue to grow and create great products for the consumer.
And when you talk about the growth, right, you mentioned organic growth a couple of times, but also mergers. Do you expect to see within the entire industry more mergers and acquisitions?
I do. There's a handful of companies that have done an amazing job. And for smaller operators, sometimes because there's no access to capital and it's a very difficult business to operate in, it makes sense for them to bolt on with a bigger company. For us, we've been very fortunate. The entrepreneurs that we brought onto our platform this past year have been some of the best in the industry are continuing to help us grow this business. And I think Verano as a company and we as a team are going to continue to find like-minded entrepreneurs that have built amazing businesses, and we'll continue to bolt them onto our platform as well. It makes sense for our shareholders, obviously our investors, our employees, and most importantly, our consumers. We want to continue to provide Verano products throughout the country, and we're going to do that very strategically.
Can you just give me a quick thought on the banking system here in the States? Because it's not federally approved, there's always still that hurdle. How does that affect your company or the industry overall?
It does. It makes it very difficult. There's things that we have to deal with on a daily basis that most companies do not. Fortunately, we have great relationships with local banks across the country. So we've built and established those relationships over time. So we do have banking. But that being said, we do need some type of federal legislation to take place so we have access to bigger banks, cheaper cost of capital, and access that other companies don't. For us to continue to operate this way, we can do it. We'll continue to thrive in this current manner, but it would be nice for us to have access to the big banks.
Yeah, and cheaper cost of capital. I mean, I think, and you're already profitable. I mean, you said you really were focusing on the balance sheet. It's wonderful to chat with you. Axios, George, congratulations to you. This is super. George Arcos, Chairman and CEO, Verano Holdings.